Welcome back to another episode of H1 Podcast, where we talk about things and stuff.
Things and stuff?
Things and stuff. What is the stuff and the things today?
Oh, there was an announcement yesterday. It was pretty great.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch it either. At this point, I didn't even look at Switch 2 games.
Spoiled.
Spoiled, yep. That's the announcement.
You were about to.
That's the announcement. Yeah, Nintendo had their Direct specifically on the Switch too. It was switchy and two-y.
So, I'm going to break it down into a few parts. We're going to first, I want to talk about the console itself, ignoring pricing.
Okay.
The console itself, pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been seeing it's stronger by a considerable bit than the Switch.
It is a lot stronger than a mid-range tablet from 2017, which I would hope so.
Same. That's almost a decade ago. We're getting there.
Shut up. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
But
like
that being said, like, we can't compare it to the Switch because we already made fun of the Switch for being the most outdated tech in the industry. So let's compare it to other things in the industry. Like, the most obvious is the Steam Deck, but there are other things. Like, this is your forte here, because I know nothing about these handhelds. You say names all the time in Discord, and I'm like, you're making shit up.
So, again, completely ignoring prices. In a vacuum, the Switch 2 looks really cool. The new Joy-Cons are really cool. The fact that both of them can act as a mouse,
That's pretty good.
that is really neat. And they showed off by ignoring prices.
Ignoring prices.
They showed off some tech demos, paid tech demos,
Well, those are always good.
but ignoring prices.
Ignoring prices.
The tech demos looked really neat. Not something you'd play only once or twice, and then ignore. Something that would be normally bundled in with the console, like
Wii Sports.
Wii Sports,
Sports.
which was a tech demo,
Yeah.
but a
fun
really
tech
cool,
demo.
a very
Yeah,
fun
Really
one.
good one.
They did good on that one.
But I would not have purchased Wii Sports separately, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
if I
true.
had never.
If it didn't come with the Wii, you wouldn't
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
But showing off the tech, very neat. Metroid Prime 4 has the ability to use the Wii remote
Does it have a release date yet? We're
The
not talking about that
the
yet.
Joy-Con
We're not talking
2.
about that yet.
as a mouse, so
They're
you
called
can play it
Joy-Con
like an
2s.
actual game. Yeah, they're called Joy-Con 2s.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can actually use it as a mouse. You can actually play the game like a normal shooter. Which
Okay.
is really cool. The fact that Switch 1 games will have
Compatibility? Almost.
some Switch games will work on the Switch 2. Not all.
Not all. God forbid.
Yep, not all.
That's stupid.
Because it's not... It doesn't have a Switch inside of it like a 3DS has a DS.
Yeah.
Or a Wii U had a Wii. This is... You know how... You know what wine is, right? On the Steam Deck?
What?
Proton?
Yeah.
How it pretends to be like Windows?
No.
Okay.
I don't know it.
So, wine is... wine stands for wine is not an emulator.
So what does the first wine stand for?
Wine is not an emulator.
It just
So-
goes fractal
Yeah.
fractaling into infinity.
So what it does is it takes Windows API calls. So when a game says, hey, I need this, it goes, oh, okay, and then it looks for the Linux version of it. So it's not emulating, it's converting these things that the game's calling for to something that Linux can use. The Switch 2 is doing something similar with its games, its backwards compatible games.
Wouldn't it be easier just to put a Switch in there at that point? Okay.
And it would most likely not even cost that much extra. The Switch 2 chips they gotta be cheap by now. They're so old. They were in 2015 tech, before the Switch was even a thing. That chip is well over a decade old.
That's wild.
But, ignoring that, the backwards compatibility is neat.
Some backwards compatibility.
Some backwards compatibility. And
Is
the
it-
fact that some games even get upgrades, like Breath of the Wild, is going to get...
Will it
frame rate
actually
boost.
play at what they originally said it might have played with to begin with?
There's a 4K mode, which is really neat,
Okay.
and a 1080p mode, which is also neat.
Yeah.
The Switch 2's screen and games support up to 120 frames.
I
per
saw
second.
that and people were calling bull on it immediately.
Well, there's already games that they have announced that will have 120 FPS mode,
Nice.
so that's already really cool. Again, ignoring pricing. The games that are backwards compatible, some of them have that boost, but the boost is a paid upgrade.
Ooh. That's
So if you don't pay for the
spicy.
upgrade, you just get the base Switch version. Do we know the price of it? No.
Not yet. That's a little spicy.
People are assuming $20, $30.
That's about right.
They're also going to be selling these games, again, physical,
Oh, Joe. I mean,
as Switch 2 versions.
oh wow.
Physical.
So
We'll get
if
to
you
that.
wanted to spend $90 on Breath of the Wild,
You can.
you can't.
I don't.
Which I guess if it was a $30 upgrade, that would be $90 anyways.
Yeah. Would it have been?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
the game
it
was
was
$60.
Oh yeah.
Tears of the Kingdom, though,
That'd be a $100
$100
game.
So you might as well just go buy it again.
Yeah. That's wild.
Ignoring prices.
Ignoring prices. Okay, so what else does it do? At least compared to other options on the handheld market.
It has 256 gigs of storage
Built in.
built in. It does take micro SD, XC, or whatever, the high-speed cards. It
Yeah.
doesn't take the base cards anymore.
Okay.
Apparently it will not support them at all.
That's a little rough.
Yeah.
So limited options on what you can put in for storage.
But it does take micro SD, so
Okay.
you can't have more than the base 256. That being said, pretty much all the games are going to be digital.
Yep.
And-
that's what makes that rough.
So you're going to need a micro SD card, or two,
Yes.
or three.
Or one per game.
Okay, games aren't that big. They're still Nintendo games.
Hold
we're
on,
talking
hold on,
about.
hold on. Killing Floor wants to debate with that.
Yeah, we'll see if Killing Floor comes to the Switch too. Although now that they have mouse support, you know, all these FPS games will actually be pretty cool.
Right?
If we'll see how comfortable it is to hold the Wii. I want to keep wanting to say Wii remote. The Switch Joy-Con sideways to use as a
Right.
mouse. But man, Metroid Prime 4 looks so cool.
That's good at least.
That almost had me sold.
Not me.
But it's going to be on the regular Switch, so I'm like, I'm not
Might
that
as well,
sold.
yeah.
I'll get it on the regular Switch and play it and enjoy it. Just like I did Breath of the Wild.
Right. Now,
I double dipped on that one. I got it on the Wii U.
how
and
dare you?
then-
Do we have any more specs to talk about for it?
yeah. Let's see. They said
Because I
that
looked at this whole list and I was like, yeah, I'm too dumb to know what this means.
the screen is 1080p now, so that's cool. I don't really think it mattered that much. The Switch's screen was fine. They could have kept it at 720p and used it for better performance.
Yeah.
But 1080p is still cool. They bumped the screen size up. I think it's like 7.9 inches now,
Yeah.
as opposed to 6.2.
It was bigger. There is one stat I like my little monkey brain could handle as well. Like I could look at this and be like, oh, that's battery life.
And I'll counter that with the Steam Deck isn't any better.
Steam Deck isn't any better.
If anything, it's about the same, if not worse.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a handheld computer.
Yeah. Dang.
That's been the
Battery
problem.
life, by the way, is 2 to 4.5 hours if I remember right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's about.
and that's about the Steam Decks.
Dang.
Some
So
games
it's-
go crazier though.
Yeah, depending on the game. Like if you're playing like
Yeah.
Stardew Valley or something, you
It's
can get
probably-
about 5-6
I was
hours.
gonna say, it's probably gonna be up. But if you're playing something like, I don't know.
If you're playing Elden Ring, you're going to
Elden
be
Ring
getting
or
about
Dark
45
Tide.
minutes to an hour. Yeah. The Legion goes the same way. It's all these
Rivals
handhelds are the
treats it
same.
pretty well too.
I bet. Anything that really pushes the power, once you got to go up to 15
At that point, you
watts,
might as well just build a jank station.
or just play it plugged in. That's what most people do. They play their stuff plugged in.
It's plugged in on the jank station.
Yeah, that's true. But at that point, just have a mini computer or
Right.
something. Or just a computer.
I only play it for games where keyboard and mouse are.
Yeah. Are
good.
better.
Yeah.
Well, think about it this way. You can have a Joy-Con 2, and you can use it as a mouse.
Oh,
or
buddy.
a controller.
I'm not about to switch to Switch 2.
It's like the Legion Go's right controller that works as a mouse, but even more uncomfortable looking.
Yeah.
We love that. We love uncomfort in our games.
That's true. But it looks cool. I won't lie. It looks really cool in the games that would make use of it. I think the Mario Party minigame thing was kind of dumb, though, because it was just reminding me of Mario Paint,
Yeah,
Super Nintendo game that used a mouse.
yeah. Just
Yeah,
remind
the
you of
mini
that.
games, were like
It's
that. I was
awful.
like, oh, cool.
Can't wait to
You
play
use the
that.
mouse to swat the flies. That part wasn't too interesting. Oh! The Switch camera. You know how many people are going to be using that for such foul things?
Oh, 100% of the people.
True. I'm very thankful the games aren't going to have random multiplayer.
Dang, I was gonna be like, I want to match up with some randoms in Mario Party.
It's just gonna be-
and just show them a colonoscopy in action.
I was gonna say, if the cameras were like with randos, you can guarantee it's just gonna be like Omegle cameras all
Oh,
over
yeah.
the place. A bunch of big, fat, shirtless dudes jorking it.
Jorking it, straight up jorking it.
I'm like, that's vile.
The 10-year-olds don't need to be visually shown what a goatee is.
So and then that leads into the next thing. They're actually adding voice chat and stuff baked into the console.
Dude, I can't wait.
They are, what, 25, almost... Yeah, they're 25 years late to the party.
Yep.
You didn't want a jank station in your phone with the Nintendo
Nope,
app.
I
and,
completely ignored that.
I downloaded it because of Splatoon, because it would show you like what's upcoming and like stuff.
I tried using it once for Animal Crossing because you can do the text chatting on it. So
No.
you can. Well, I will say text chatting through your phone to the game is way
better.
easier than using
the game and yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah. But like
no.
we know how kids are on, open voice chats because we did this, 20 some years ago in Halo and Gears of War and Call of Duty and all those.
I
So
did
we
it.
already know what's going to be said.
So as we said, I've been waiting for the day to get past or to get hit with a blue shell, and then have some kid scream past me the N-word in Mario Kart. I was like, that sounds so good.
It's
I
going to
can't
happen.
wait.
It's gonna be peak.
It's gonna. That is
It's gonna be
peak
great.
gaming. They're gonna bring back the Xbox 360 era.
Right. Are we done with features and specs?
Let's see.
You got anything else you can
Camera.
think of?
Oh, they added a second port,
I did see that. They
so you
had a
could
second
charge
port
it or plug in the camera.
at the same time.
There's a fan
Wow.
built into the dock so that your console doesn't overheat. I don't know why that's needed, but
Because
cool.
that was the Switch famous for overheating?
No.
Okay.
I think the only thing I know in handheld computer space that's had that issue is ROG Ally, where it would heat up so bad that the SD card slot would break.
That's rough.
So almost all of them are broken.
Yeah. That's funny though.
It is funny though. Anything else?
See, again, this was out of
I
my
didn't even look
scope
at it.
of.
The power of
knowledge.
magnets. The
I did see
Joy-Cons
magnets
yep.
somewhere in there.
They use magnets to stick to the console and lock into place. They made the analog sticks bigger. They actually advertised that as a feature.
That's cool.
now with more drift, or
That's
They didn't announce that they were using Hall effect sensors, so they will have drift.
exciting.
that's cool. I love that for them.
Yeah, they did not fix the problem. They just
Made it better.
yeah. Let's see what else.
So I was gonna say, with all the specs laid out, what's this costing us?
Oh, yeah. Now we can move into pricing and stuff. So the base console with no video game, $450.
Compared to
The base Switch was $300, and still is $300. It never got a price cut.
no, it never got a price cut. So expect the same.
Expect the same. And $350 if you want the OLED, or $200 if you want the Switch Lite.
Okay. Now let's compare prices of the Switch 2 to its actual competition, what it has now.
Oh, okay. Let's compare it to the Steam Deck. A 64 gig Steam Deck had for $329,
Okay.
which offers, I would say, very comparable performance.
It has to. It's playing, actual games.
Yeah. And and not only the price savings of the Steam Deck, the games themselves cost a lot cheaper.
Yeah, it's Steam Summer Sale, baby.
Not just that, but
Plus
like,
everything
even-
you've already accrued.
well, if
Game
someone
Board.
was just a
Yeah.
console gamer and moving to with the Steam,
They would have to accrue again.
I guess.
so
But
like,
they have, like, I mean, we could compare, that wouldn't be a fair comparison, but we could compare Valve's own games to Nintendo's own games to see how often they go on sale.
you could buy the Valve Complete Collection for like $50, $60.
As I say, you can buy it for cheaper than the starting price of Mario Kart World.
Yeah, and you get 30 games.
But, like, not even that. Like, even off-sale, a lot of you have so many options.
Oh, okay. If you buy the Valve Complete Collection
It's
on
a few
sale,
$100s.
it's like $15.
Oh, you were talking about not on sale.
Yeah, not on sale. It's like $50, $60. On sale, it's like $15, if not less.
Yeah, and they actually go on sale all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can regularly get Left 4 Dead 2 for $1.
Yes. A classic.
That is an all-time
And it's backwards
classic.
compatible.
Yeah, there is all of Valve's
It works
games
with
will work
PC
on the
1
Steam.
or PC 2.
PC 2. Oh no.
But I mean, like, not to shag Nintendo too much. They are bringing over more and more indie games.
Yeah.
Most companies won't work with them because their console specs are too out there. So it is like, we've seen the catastrophe that was Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat tried to work with them, and then we got whatever the heck that.
Oh, the Play-Doh Fest?
Yeah, the Play-Doh Fest. Like, they basically just made Clay Fighters. So, like,
They
yeah,
should have just made Clay Fighters.
honestly. So,
Yeah, that
with,
could be a
with more
cool
power,
concept.
we'll probably see
You could
more
get, like,
people.
really gory, just like
Right?
Clay
exploding.
Fighters is a game.
Oh.
It is. It really is, yeah. It was a very
It
good
was
game.
for the N64.
It was a joke game. Clay Fighter 63 and a half.
Okay.
Because every game on the N64 put 64 at the end for some reason.
Like,
They should put every game on there as with a 2 at the end now.
True.
true.
Splatoon 3 too.
Yeah.
But anyways, forgot what I was rambling about. The specs of the Switch is better now, so companies might consider also making their games on the Switch
Well,
more often.
FromSoft already is...
That's an exclusive though. Like I'm
Dude,
talking like
that's
not
a
just
funny
even
deal
exclusive.
about it.
Elden Ring's coming to the
oh,
Switch
see,
too.
there
Oh.
we go. So yeah, with it being more powerful, they'll probably see more games finally coming over there, which is good for
That being
the
said,
Switch.
Elden Ring, the trailer for it, that frame rate did not look very promising.
That's always good. We love not promising frame rates.
Now it could have just been the trailer. Who knows? It could run at 60. It could run at 120 FPS on the Switch too.
Yeah.
The trailer looked like it was 30.
Yeah. That's not shocking.
At not very high details. So if that's what we're expecting, my hopes, not the highest.
No.
Not for
I didn't
third-party
have high
games.
hopes anyways.
But
yeah.
for a console that is $450. That will never drop below $450.
That's rough, buddy.
That is very rough. Being, from what, judging by how Elden Ring looked, I would say is comparable to base PS4. That's rough.
That's rough.
You can get a base PS4 for under $100.
I was gonna say for probably around $100, and that's but it's not portable.
You're right. That's the kicker.
Elden Ring is also gonna drain its battery life in probably half an hour.
No, that Nintendo. The one thing Nintendo is good with is that low range is the
The actual low range.
low range. So it will at least be 2 hours.
Oh, good. You can have a handful of attempts on a boss that you can't beat
Yeah.
because you're using a jank Nintendo Switch 2 mouse.
You know what I am looking forward to?
What's that?
Them Bethesda putting Skyrim on the Switch 2.
They have to.
Because they put
It's
it on
law.
the Switch.
It's law. They have to.
Either it's going to be an upgrade that you pay $30 for,
Or you're gonna pay $90 for it.
or
They
they're just
can-
going to do it.
This is Bethesda's entrance into the higher cost games, Skyrim.
And you know what? There's going to be people that buy it too.
Oh, there will be.
Dude, it just works.
It just works.
Thanks, Todd Howard.
But yeah, no, like, I don't like ragging too terribly hard on Nintendo because it just brings out the bias in me because I'm not a Nintendo person. But it just seems like there's
It's
like
so easy to rag on, though. It's like
it just seems like there's so much better options that you can do. The only thing you miss by not getting a Nintendo console is you miss the Nintendo games.
Yes.
If you are not willing to do things you shouldn't do. Legally speaking.
So now, we talked about $450 for the console. No games.
Yes, no games.
There is a bundle, though, that's also coming out same day. It's $500, and it comes with Mario Kart World.
Yes.
Which, by the way, that's a steal of a deal right there.
You get the console and the game. Where you would originally be paying. How much is the base game of Mario Kart digitally?
Digitally, $80.
80. Wow, that's a price. But what if I want physical?
Oh, $90.
That's cool. We like paying almost $100. Guess who? See, we were joking that Grand Theft Auto
Would be the $100.
would be the one.
Yeah.
It's still there. It's still a chance.
True.
But
If
man,
it
we
releases,
got
essentially.
real close. And see, I'm gonna be the butthead on this one. I would not pay $80 or $90 or any of that for a Mario Kart game.
Oh, you definitely don't want to pay $90 for this one because it's one of the things you hate. It's open world.
Mario? What?
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
So,
What?
if you
What?
watch the trailer, it actually is pretty neat looking. So it's a big open world with the racetracks on the world. So to do a cup, you will race the cup, and then you will drive to the next one, all together as like an off race, and then you'll do that one, and then you'll do that one, until you finish it, which is really neat.
I don't want to do that.
But yeah, but I think there will be options
Just
to
put
not
a
have to do
loading
that.
screen. Hell, I'll come in last place if I can take the loading screen.
But they have to do this. You know why? There's
No.
game chat.
Oh, cool.
So you get to now hop on game chat with your buddies, all be shirtless with cameras, and
Yeah, and
play your game.
and drive the highway between race cups, chatting.
yeah, and then
Oh my god.
so one of the things with the game chat is it defaults you to a smaller screen. You know how when you're watching someone on Discord,
Yes.
how it has that big border and then everyone underneath?
Yeah, that's what it's gonna do.
It does that with your game and then their screens.
Oh, so exciting!
Or-
I can't turn that off.
You can,
Okay.
but it defaults to that.
Oh, exciting.
And their frame rates are like 2 FPS. So you see their slideshows.
Ooh, man.
Yep. You see their slideshows while you are playing, and you could maximize theirs, and it does not increase their frame rate. So you are still just watching a slideshow.
That's super cool.
Oh yeah. Nintendo's cooking real hard this time. Now, in concept, I think this is cool to have Discord, essentially,
Yeah.
baked in. I think that should be standard for consoles.
Yeah, of course.
And I think Discord is baked in on the other two now.
I thought so too, yeah.
Because that's how people are communicating with
We've
us.
played with our friends in Fortnite on 2 different consoles. So.
Yeah, and they're on the console.
Yeah.
Talking to us through the console. So I'm going to assume that's how that works. Now, why didn't Nintendo just put Discord on there? Beats me. But
Gotta do their own thing.
Yeah.
And this game chat will require a Nintendo Plus subscription.
Bro. Well, granted, so I think so does Play Online to begin with, so.
Yeah, that's why. Anything revolving that. Which hopefully they don't increase the price of, because that's actually
They
one
are
of the.
going to.
Well, it's one of the few things Nintendo does that I actually am not that upset about, is their pricing for their online service. For a family plan, it's like $30 a year, and that's for like 6 people. So it's really good compared to PS Plus, which is like $70 for one person for
Yeah.
a year, and then I think Xbox is like $90 a year, but you get access to 1 million games.
Yeah, you get their Game Pass included.
Yeah, Game Pass is
Isn't
included.
Nintendo doing the same thing, though? Don't you get access to some... There's a
Yes.
different subscription plan.
There's 2 tiers for Nintendo's.
Okay.
There's the regular one, which gives you access to all the base online stuff, so talking, playing games
Yeah.
online. And it also gives you access to Game Boy, base Game Boy, NES, and Super Nintendo games
Okay.
to play online.
So stuff I played in my childhood, in my youth.
Yes. But if you want to play N64
And the new one they added, which was...
GameCube?
GameCube.
and Sega Genesis, those all cost the premium one, which doubles the price.
Oh. Okay, I mean, that's still not a bad deal. Do they
Still
have...
not a bad deal. And
Do they have every game?
no,
Of course not.
that's this. So they took away Virtual Console to give us this rental service, and now we get like a quarter of the games that we had on Virtual Console. So
Good trade.
good trade. There, you also get access to the DLCs for first party Nintendo games if you pay for the premium one.
Okay.
So you don't have to spend money on the DLCs
That's
as long
pretty
as you
cool.
keep your pass. Obviously, when the pass goes away, all the
Yeah,
DLCs
you lose
go
all the
away,
DLCs. Let's
But-
hope you're not in a DLC area on your character.
right? So, it's a good deal if you compare it to
To what you get elsewhere.
yeah, but in a vacuum, it's still shit. So
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you also have to compare the online strength, I guess, how good the online is. And let's be honest here,
it's Nintendo.
Nintendo's very infamous. People defend it by saying, well, yeah, you're paying way less for their online, so of course it's going to be weaker. I'm like, okay, but can we pay, more and have stronger then?
Personally, I'd rather do that. But, I mean, at the end of the day, $500 for a console with one game is better than what the competition is offering.
Yes.
Barely. Granted, if you go to Sony, or if you compare to Sony, it is way better than what Sony's doing. They're charging you $800 for a console that doesn't even have a disc drive,
Yeah.
$900, something like that. And then we're talking about the PS4 Pro, by the way. The PS4 Pro is ridiculously PS5. Sorry, I can't remember which one it is anymore.
PS5 Pro.
PS5 Pro doesn't have a disc drive. You have to buy that separate.
Yes.
So that, and then it doesn't come with a game. So you gotta buy a game, but their games are only $70. So
It's like an algebra problem.
yeah. So you're spending about $1,000 at the end of the day for a PS5 Pro with a disc drive and a game physically.
You know what you could have spent that $1,000 on?
A computer.
A computer.
And then you could
You know
have
how many
spent
free games we have on computer that you don't need a subscription for?
$1 million.
A lot.
More every day.
And also there's...
And that's not even that's not even a pirating joke. That is literally you don't need to pay a subscription to Steam. You just get it, and they have so many good games, including, I'm going to shill on this one of my favorite games of all time, Hollow Cure.
Okay, and I'm going to also just say, you don't even have to just talk about Steam here. You can talk about the greedy Epic Games.
Yeah, Epic Games does a free game every week.
Yeah. And it's usually like
Decent game.
Yeah, a decent game that's normally like $20-$30.
Yeah, you could never give EA
no subscription
a penny, and you get a free game every week, while still being able to play one of the top free games of all time, Fortnite, which comes with Guitar Hero.
Yep. Which has a rotating free list of songs that you never have to pay for.
Yes.
You can just enjoy the game, enjoy the music.
And I hear Rocket League's free too.
Yeah. And Rocket League's free. Epic is really good about that. It's because they make their money elsewhere.
Yes. Let's not kid ourselves. Now, is the Epic launcher bad?
Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's so bad.
It's so bad. So just use it for the free game.
Yeah, use it for the free games.
Yeah, I haven't
Then go to Steam.
Mm-hmm. And have Steam. There's so many free games on Steam. And then Steam puts games on sale all the time. You're always getting good deals.
You have a quarterly sale that's a massive sale that goes on for like 10 days. That most games go on sale for, and they go on pretty deep sales at that.
And if you go, oh, but I don't want a mouse and keyboard at a desk, you don't have to do that anymore.
Controller it.
Steam solved that too.
Yeah.
And soon Steam's going to be releasing a whole operating system that is just for a controller.
Yeah.
It'll be optimized and basically play exactly like a console. So soon you will have no excuse other than just either too lazy to, which is fine. That's a valid excuse. Too lazy to set up a computer. Not knowledgeable enough to set up a computer, which is also a valid excuse.
Get yourself a friend that knows how.
Most people do.
Or, my favorite thing, YouTube. YouTube solves that easily.
Yes.
YouTube has a video to teach you how to do almost anything.
And this is the next thing that's going to be, actually something that I would tell people to consider. Once this actually is rolled out, Valve's new operating system, which is just the Steam Deck's operating system, to the masses and is able to be used by anyone, it's going to be installed on pre-built little gaming machines that you will be able to buy. So you can just buy a computer with SteamOS.
Yeah.
And you will have a console that will have better games, better deals.
Yeah.
You will not have to worry about it. And then once things start to run, sluggish over, 5, 6, 7 years, you buy a new one, your games are still there.
Yes, still there.
You don't
Backwards
have to
compatibility,
save.
baby!
Yep. And most of your game saves will be on the cloud for free, no subscription.
Yep.
You don't have to pay Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, however much money to have your game saved to the cloud.
Gabe loves you.
This is all just offered base within Steam. And if you go, oh, I don't know if I want to just use Steam. I like that Epic Games thing. Well,
Do that.
on Steam you can even do that. You can install Junk Store and give you access to the Epic Games launcher, GOG,
Yeah.
a whole bunch of different launchers.
Windows.
Windows, if you want it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or you
and
can
while we
install
ragged
Windows
on Epic Games,
Oh,
I
like the Windows Game Store. Like,
Oh, the Microsoft Store?
yeah, sorry.
I don't think you can do that on.
I thought you could.
You can do the Xbox Game Pass streaming,
Okay.
but you have to download the Edge browser on your Steam Deck. So
Okay.
if that's a sin you want to commit, you can.
right. And while we did rag on Epic Games, right now they have a spring sale going, so they also participate in sales.
Sales, and actually their sales are pretty decent. The only reason why I don't buy things on there is because I don't want to.
Don't want to mix have stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
That's the same reason most people like. We may sound cultish for Steam, but the reason is quite simply having everything in just one location makes it very easy. It's the same reason there's a good chunk of people that own only one console.
And if you like indie games, like really small indie games, things like Hollow Cure, there is also itch.io.
Yeah.
They have a launcher that
Yeah.
you can also install through Junk Store on Steam.
Huh.
And that has access to, I wouldn't say almost millions of
Yes.
indie games that are $1, $2 free.
Yes.
So-
Very good. I used that for Hollow Cure before it came to Steam.
Mm-hmm. itch.io is amazing, and it directly supports the developers.
Yep.
So,
You have options.
mm-hmm.
Join the PC master race.
Worship
way cheaper
God
in the
Emperor
long run.
Gabe.
Yep.
Speaking of God Emperor Gabe, I don't remember what company said they wanted to put advertisements in games. Like actual
Launch.
ads. Was it EA?
Yeah, I think it was.
And Gabe said, yeah, that won't fly on Steam. You do that, your games are kicked off.
Yep.
He's fighting the fight.
Yeah, there is no direct
Ubisoft.
advertisements.
Was it Ubisoft that wanted to hide player counts?
Yeah.
And Gabe said, no. Show that. Yeah, no, he is very for the consumer. As for the consumer as you can get for a company. It is wild.
He's amazing.
That's
He
why
is
they're
also, from what I've seen of him, one of the chillest motherfuckers.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing guy.
That's why he looks like Santa Claus.
Yeah. I remember when the Steam Deck came out, and they uploaded a little video of him hand delivering like the first 100 or so.
Yeah.
He's such a goofy guy. You gotta love him.
I hope for his sake they were all in one part of the world.
I think they were all in the Seattle area.
Okay, that makes it
they're at.
easier.
But yeah, no, that's also a reason why I like Steam, is because their CEO is just a great guy.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to support a company if you
like their business practices.
if you like
Yeah. Right?
if you like their business practices and their leadership there, you go, yeah, no, I feel confident in this product. Whereas like Activision, when Bobby was there,
Oh, Bobby's World.
oh Bobby's World, you can go, man, I don't like the company. You can still buy the games and enjoy them, but
I haven't played a Activision Blizzard game in... When was the last one I played? It would have had to have been World of Warcraft Shadowlands.
You played Shadowlands?
I played the beginning of Shadowlands. I was like, wow, they fixed nothing that I hated about this game. And then I stopped
Wait,
playing.
you didn't play Diablo
4?
Immortal?
No. I didn't
You
have
have
a
a
phone.
phone one.
Oh, okay.
I did have a phone. I refused. But no, I also didn't play
Really?
Diablo
You
4.
have
I
phones,
didn't
right?
play Overwatch 2. I mean, StarCraft's been dead for a while.
Rest in peace, StarCraft 2.
Same with Heroes of the Storm. I forgot its name. It's been so dead. Which was honestly my favorite of the MOBAs. It
Yes,
was very
that was-
snappy and fun.
It was. I really liked
And
it.
they were like, yeah, this isn't competing with League of Legends and Dota and money, so we're going to kill it. Like, bro,
Apparently it's still around.
it is. It's just, like, it's still around.
No new content.
I don't know how much updates it gets. I think none, but you can still play it.
It's in TF2 support mode.
Yes. But
The famous nothing.
nothing. But hey, it's there. But yeah, no, I haven't played a Blizzard game or an Activision game in a long time. Same with Ubisoft. Granted, Ubisoft's like games, the majority at the least are the same formula,
Assassin's Creed?
Assassin's Creed
Yeah.
formula, and I didn't like any of those. Like,
Whoa,
not
hold
even,
on.
not even like for controversial reasons. I just don't like the way they play.
What about their quadruple A game?
It was
Skull and Bones.
Yeah, it got thrashed by a game people were making fun of for being bad at launch, which was Sea of Thieves. It got trashed by that.
And you want to know something? Sea of Thieves is bad.
But it ain't Skull and Bones.
Me and Wayne played it for a little bit. We just sailed around, and then we're like, what do we do?
Yeah.
It was fun, though, for what we did play.
That's the whole point, just goofy fun.
But they won't let me change my FOV.
No.
So
Which
I felt
is
sick.
nauseating.
Which I guess was realistic.
Yeah.
Because I was on a boat, and I felt sick the whole time.
Yeah. See, there you go. They were going for realism.
So Rare was great with that. It was realistic.
But, they do have, like, one series, I guess, that's kind of more out of the box, and that'd be Rainbow Six. But I haven't played Siege in God knows how long.
I want to play the wheelchair guy.
The wheelchair guy that you don't play as, you
Yeah,
play
you
as
play
their
as a robot.
robots.
Yeah.
No.
What the hell is this?
Like-
Ubisoft, what are you thinking?
They're thinking. But, like, I haven't played any of the... Like, mostly I just stick to, I don't know, indie games. Like, genuinely. It's just easy.
Thank you.
Like, I'm trying to think. What's the last... That's easy. The last AAA game I would have played would be Monster Hunter. It wasn't Wilds, it was Rise.
Not Wilds, World.
But World is older than Rise, so the newest one would probably be Rise.
You played Marvel Rivals.
Is that considered AAA?
Yeah.
Okay. I played Marvel Rivals.
It's, they got the funding of Disney behind it, so...
Yeah. That's not fair to count, like, just because they have China behind it doesn't mean that they get automatically
China number
thrust into AAA. Oh, they have the funding of China, AAA.
I said
double A.
I want the record to say, I said Disney, I did not say China.
I guess Disney owns Marvel, don't they?
Yes.
Dang. I didn't know Disney was a AAA gaming company.
You
Granted, I did play some Disney games on the Sega Genesis, so they've been around making games for a while.
Yep.
I don't know.
They've made
I
some
think
on
if
Nintendo.
Disney had a big say in it, it would be way worse.
I agree.
But China was like, nah, fam, we got this. Leave
We
us
know
alone."
how to sell games. Good.
Yes, they do. Hoyo has been doing that for a while now.
They do the opposite of Ubisoft.
I will say, Hoyo's been funny. Two of their communities are just throwing tantrums and just vile right now.
Oh.
You know what community isn't?
Zenless?
Zenless. They're too busy gooning.
Yeah! And it's beautiful.
I don't know what Honkai did, but it angered the community, and freaking Zenless over here gooning as usual. It's like,
Hey,
okay.
man, if you pacify your audience, they won't get angry.
Get angry.
If they're all too busy, then, well... So, that's a business idea.
Cracking up.
Are the Genshin people still upset about that?
Genshin players are always upset.
Because I know...
Even when they're not upset, they're upset.
I know recently there was the whole voice actors thing that's happening with Hoyo's voice actors, which is... that has affected Zenless. Because there
Two
are...
of them, I think.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
The wolf guy, Lycone, his voice is just absent.
Uh-oh.
For all the new chapters.
That's wild.
And so it's very jarring, too, because you'll hear everyone talking
And then silence.
And then silence as his mouth moves, and I'm like,
huh?
Is my game broken?
My game broken?
Had to go look it up. No, he's one of the VAs on strike or something.
Ah.
And then there was a couple other ones, a couple ladies, I can't remember.
Yeah, no. I don't remember what Genshin's upset about, but, like, let's be honest, Genshin players are upset about everything. Always.
I saw the Paimon's English VA crashing out.
That's exciting.
It was.
If we could just get rid of Paimon, you know.
That's what I said. So that's the problem in and of itself. Just get rid of mascot characters like that. I don't see the point.
Okay, now I know why you say get rid of her.
Mascot character.
Yeah,
Fucking
it's
burn.
pretty much.
Yeah.
All these games need it for some reason. I don't know why these gotchas all have to have a mascot. Like that Nikki game's got the little cat Momo.
I was about to say Zenless doesn't, or we have the Bang Boobs.
Yeah. Zenless has the bang boobs.
But they're not really intrusive or annoying in my eyes.
They don't speak.
They're like minions.
I actually don't think they're bad.
Yeah.
I don't mind them at all. I like them.
But yeah, for one, they don't speak. They go and then yeah,
Yeah.
which is fine. They're like little rabbits, but not grotesque to look at. Which rabbits are. They were very grotesque. Thank you, Ubisoft. Another one of your genius ideas.
Someone just hasn't gooned enough to the Peach Rabbit yet, and you can tell.
Which rabbit was buff as shit again? I can't remember.
Was it Donkey Kong?
Yeah, that was the Donkey Kong one. That was good.
But anyways, back to gooning.
Wait, we stopped? Oh. But yeah, no, Zenless's ones weren't bad. The Bang Boos are fine.
Didn't play Honkai, so I can't talk about it.
Yeah, I haven't played Honkai, so I can't tell you.
Fate's mascot character is Mash, and all she did was cock block you all the time, so...
Oh, I'd hate that.
One of the many historic people want to have sex with you? Nah, get shielded,
No.
idiot.
No! Atlas is releasing a new gacha game. It's going to have a mascot character.
Morgana.
No. It's going to be a little... It's going to be an owl. But it's going to be an owl that looks
Why
almost...
does Morgana get so much hate, but, like, Teddy didn't?
Teddy did.
Teddy did?
It's just I have a lot of love for Teddy, so you don't notice it.
I don't notice, okay.
I counteract it all. People hate him because he's a gross pervert.
Morgana or Teddy?
Teddy.
Okay.
But I think it's funny.
Well, is that better or worse to people than Morgana's still perverted but hides it in a chivalrous way?
I think... See, so Teddy's just out with it, you know? He's honest.
He's honest.
He's honest with himself and he's honest with everyone. So that's admirable. As gross as it can be, it's admirable. Morgana, on the other hand,
Lady
He's just a simp.
he's just a simp.
He's just a simp.
And then he keeps you inside.
Let me go
Yep.
outside after night.
Teddy doesn't do that.
Teddy don't do that.
Teddy's badass. And he won the beauty pageant.
There we go. Most important thing.
Most
Morgana
important.
didn't win a beauty pageant.
That's true. Morgana couldn't pass off as a pretty girl.
Nope.
Teddy could, though.
Here we go. You have to go to the OG annoying mascot character everyone hated, which would be Navi, which I honestly didn't mind.
I didn't mind either.
Granted, I was younger back then, and my dumbass couldn't figure out anything. So when Navi said, "Hey, listen," I would click up and listen to what she said because typically it was like, "Hey, dumbass, go over here."
And
like,
then Chris
oh.
went,
Sounds good to me, buddy.
Okay.
Thank you. Hey, dumbass.
Navi
This
speaks and I
this
listen.
pressure plate needs more weight. You know those heavy ass boots you just got? Put those on. Oh, that makes sense. I was trying to hit it with my hammer.
Bruh. So you're the reason why Navi exists.
I'm the reason why Navi exists.
You were the target audience.
And I loved every bit of it. Like,
That's
I
funny.
like Navi.
Yeah, no, I mean, for the most part, most mascot characters can go burn. I don't like them.
I typically avoid them.
Like Vern, for example, was very bad.
Whew.
I did not.
I will say, at least, like, for a few days a year in the gacha game, he gets really, really buff and tries to fight you, and you get to beat his ass.
But Buff Vern was okay.
Yeah,
I thought Buff Vern was pretty cool.
that was funny.
I didn't really play
But
too
when he
much of
became
that.
It's the
Gacha.
April Fool's joke. They do alternate reality versions of everybody where
Ultra
everyone's
Instinct Vern.
really wild.
But playing Relink.
Oh yeah.
My God.
They brought the best with Vern in that.
Yeah.
He was on his A game.
He was on his A game.
Yeah, they just... But in other countries, apparently mascot characters do a lot better, and they're a lot more loved.
I mean, it's the same here though.
Everyone I've talked to hates these mascot characters.
Yeah, then why is Pikachu still the most popular character here too?
Because Pikachu's not annoying.
Yes, he is.
I don't think so.
A little annoying electric rat.
I don't think Pikachu stops me whenever I'm trying to do something, unless it's the N64 game where you have to speak into the microphone.
See?
But you're buying the game because he's a little shit. You're not. That's the whole point
That's
of that
just
game.
defending him.
Any other game, Pikachu doesn't stop you every 3 seconds to go, "Hey, listen,"
Hey, listen.
or
Yeah, that's Navi.
Yeah.
and then doesn't
Professor
scream in your
Oak does
ear
that.
with a right.
Let me ride my bike inside.
Yeah, why can't
Pikachu
I?
would be cool with that.
Yeah, Pikachu wouldn't mind.
No, he wouldn't. Or he would mind. He would not be cool with that. I answered Wayne while you said that.
Why would he? Why would he mind? What would Pikachu? I think Pikachu would also ride a bike inside.
Pikachu. This is the same Pikachu that jumped on a helicopter and electrocuted with Team Rocket in it.
Dude, that was badass.
He's
committed
a
murder.
serial killer.
That's cool. That's badass.
I keep seeing memes about the new, like, trainer character.
Mhm.
The VA's the same as the Pikachu, so you just
Oh no.
see an anime girl, like, screaming for her, like, weird ice Pokemon to explode, and it's hilarious. Just fun. Suicide bombs.
I've heard that the new Pokemon show is good, and you know what? Good for them.
I keep seeing clips of it, so
I
Where's
won't
Ash
watch
at,
it,
though?
but he's gone finally
yeah.
Bruh.
after 25 seasons.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Oldest 10-year-old ever.
That never wins.
That never. He finally won once.
Yeah, he had a win here and there. I mean,
But the full tournament though. They finally gave him the win at the very end. Granted,
Yeah.
most of his wins early game, in the early show were cheating anyways. So.
yeah. They didn't follow the rules of
They
Pokemon.
I thought that was badass at the time, though. Like, oh, combining 2 different moves into one? That
Yeah. Here's
could make it an
the
effect.
thing.
That's cool.
Dumb me thought like maybe. Just maybe, if I brought a water Pokemon in and shot an Onix, I could use a Pikachu versus it. That doesn't work.
No.
That show lied.
It lied.
Just because you get the rock wet doesn't mean it conducts electricity.
That's true. Damn.
Y'all ready for the Pal World dating sim?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Pokemon would
Lavander.
never.
That doesn't make any sense.
Sure it does.
It started as an April Fool's joke, and then, like,
Yeah.
they saw, people enjoy this.
Yeah. 'Cause
No,
it started as an
no.
April Fool's joke, and then we had the Game Freak leaks, and like, this is what people want.
No,
Give it to 'em.
That's what Nintendo wants.
This is what the people want.
Inside
let me,
Nintendo.
Let
They
me
want-
have sex with the sexy lizard.
I'll buy it and play it. I don't give a shit. That'll be my first review on H-Bomb.
There you go. You heard it here, first, folks.
Someone besides Casey's doing something.
I still find that funny.
That's the funniest thing ever to me.
I have 3 videos cooking right now, by the way.
I bought a game and hid it so I could do it secretly, and then talk and like make the video and put it up, and then unhide the video or not unhide the video, unhide the game.
So there will be more content on the channel.
Possibly,
soon.
I just have to get to that
Understandable.
because I don't want y'all to judge me for the game I picked.
I'm judging you for the game you picked, played,
And
got footage of it, and didn't do.
Dude, that game was bad.
You could have made a short out of it, though. Shorts get
This
a lot
is
of...
true. They do get a lot of traction. And who doesn't want to watch a short of like some bald-headed, bearded-ass motherfucker screaming about a rage game that's got freaking slightly lewd pictures?
You just need to make yourself a gorilla VTuber.
True. There already exists one in Japan. His name is Virtual Gorilla. He's he's actually a predator in Apex. I can see the lightly blatant. Don't you love Don't you love the name EA picked for their freaking battle royale for their top players?
They're predators.
They're predators.
Damn.
People hate it so much that they just shorten it to Preds.
That's worse.
That's so much worse.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think it's funny. But no, he's a top ranked Apex player.
There's a couple Preds on my
He
street.
also can sing. Have you ever seen a freaking gorilla sing?
Have you seen a predator sing?
Have you ever seen a predator gorilla sing?
Does he play gorilla tag?
He has never played gorilla tag that I'm aware of.
That in comment sections I've seen to get rid of or to get under censoring, they do R and then gorilla emoji for R ape.
Bro.
I love that.
Bro.
Ape.
Kids are wild.
Gorilla tag's so funny for that shit. Kids are creative. They find ways to make the terrible, vile things.
Oh, I'm aware.
That's why I'm so shocked Nintendo is giving them cameras and voice chat.
Absolutely should not be doing that.
Oh,
And that's why it's going to be the greatest thing ever.
and it's going to be free for everyone until next year.
Oh, nice.
The voice chat and the video camera calling thing.
Wait, how is it going to be free? You have to have a Nintendo subscription to play online anyways. Okay.
People without it can use it? I don't know.
Cool, I get to talk to myself. I can do that without the chat.
Huh.
What did I overhear you say that you didn't? Like you were just talking to yourself behind the
Oh, I
wall
was-
at work.
I don't remember. I was singing a song and made up lyrics, and Wayne heard me.
He turns around the corner. I was like, so blank. And oh, I didn't know.
I know for certain it had the word ass in it, because that's probably my most used word in making up song lyrics.
So, question for you, Wayne. Would you play Mario Party Jamboree with me?
I don't know what that is.
Mario Party?
Oh, okay.
It's one of the newer Mario
Oh.
parties.
It's the new Mario Party.
On the Switch too?
It's going to get Switch 2 support, and they're going to have video camera support specifically.
sitting
for
on
it.
the camera.
I'm not gonna moon the camera.
I'm
though.
sitting on the
I will.
camera.
So
Well, I'll
there's
see
there's a
Casey
part
cheeks.
where it's live action, like it shows
Yeah.
you and you're cut out, and you come out of the pipe. I want to come out of the pipe mooning the camera.
I saw you say it on Discord.
I want that to happen, and then there's a bunch of mini games specifically with the camera. So we're bringing the PS2 iToy back. By the way,
Innovative.
innovative, 2003 technology. We are getting that in 2025. It
It's
is.
a mainline feature.
Yep. It's great. Or I guess the kids, they remember the Kinect.
Yeah. That was always connected. to the-
Yeah, you can go Xbox on. Or Xbox, watch TV. My favorite.
My favorite thing that came from that was the Han Solo dance.
Yeah, buddy. Han Solo.
Too good, too
I'm
good.
Han Solo.
That was so bad. Dude, Xbox deserves to be clowned on.
For eternity for that.
Yep. Everything Xbox, late 360 through the entirety of the Xbox One era, they deserve to be clowned on for that whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, Sony's just gross.
Yeah, agreed.
And so is Nintendo. So,
Hella agree.
moral of the story, the only thing you should do is buy a PC.
Yes. Join us.
Yeah.
Unless you play fighting games. The PlayStation is typically used at tournaments, so consider that.
Walmart has a deal on PlayStation 5 right now, and it's like,
Spicy.
What would you do?
Yeah, what would you play on it?
Wilds,
And
Just get a computer.
Stellar Blade.
Get a computer.
I have a computer. Stellar Blade isn't on a computer yet.
yeah, that's summer.
Yeah.
I did see somebody ask if Stellar Blade is an actually good game outside of just gooning. It's like, homie, please.
Yes.
I'm getting the game not even to goon. I don't care. That could
That
be a
reminded
guy.
me.
I do not care.
That reminded me of something. Someone posted something saying along the lines of, Bayonetta isn't even good. It's just like nowadays you'd consider this goon bait.
Really? No.
And I was like, oh no, I don't think so. Back then we called that fan service,
Yeah.
which Bayonetta had a lot of,
Yes.
but it was also a good game.
It was also a really good game.
That's why it got 2 sequels
Yes.
and a couple spin-offs.
Yes.
And she was in Smash Brothers.
Yes.
That's why Chris said Bayonetta, more like Bayonetta.
Exactly.
Not goon bait.
Not goon bait. We didn't buy it because it was gooning. We bought it because it was, hey, look, we've got a new Devil May Cry. And
Yeah.
this looks really good.
And she's hot.
And she's hot.
But that's the and part, not
And.
the because.
Yeah.
We didn't buy the game
granted,
because
it's,
she's
It's
hot.
the same thing. We bought Devil May Cry because the game is really good. And the combat is awesome.
And he's hot.
Dante's hot.
Gamers are simple.
Yeah, that's true. That's why games like Concord didn't do good.
Dustborn.
Dustborn.
The new porn.
They're the newborns. They're the newborns. Gross.
I can't believe unironically that game's like, oh, these are the good guys, but they kill many people and like
Racism.
gaslight you
Yeah,
or gaslight the public.
and they're
That's
racist
their
towards
problem.
robots.
Yeah. We like most of the robots here.
Extremely racist towards robots. It was terrible. Like, I'm not getting in this car. You're driving it. Like, whoa, holy shit. Okay. But yeah, I don't know, but,
Her power was gaslighting, canceling.
oh yeah, that was a thing, wasn't it? It was
Yeah,
canceling.
the powers.
Yeah. And triggering.
Oh, but you need a root for these people.
no.
Or just terrible.
Just like Assassin's Creed Shadows, that had to have been on purpose.
Wasn't it Norway that paid for?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the government.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was either Norway or Denmark or something.
Here's the thing. I played the. I have to think about the most recent game I played, which is Stardew, and there are 3 characters that are pretty well hated in that game. Clint the incel,
Because he's an incel.
Demetrius the scientist, who's just dickhead
'Cause he's an
all the
incel,
time,
Yeah.
and Pierre the communist.
Pierre's just a douche.
He's just a douche. Yeah, and there we go.
Dude, all the,
Those
like,
are your 3
you
hated
sell him
characters.
Vegetables, and then later on, townspeople are like, "Wow, I got a rotten vegetable from Pierre's."
Damn. Bro waits until they rot to sell them?
Yeah.
What an asshole.
No wonder
could
you're
just come
losing
to me.
Joja Corp. Yeah.
In fact, a lot of the time they put up a little wanted board thing and say, "Can I get this?" I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, sure. I gotcha. Same day delivery." Depends though. Like some of those things were sitting in my fridge for 2 years.
That's fine. That's still fresh.
Yeah. It was in the fridge. It's okay.
In the fridge. Others were sitting in a chest that's sitting right outside my farm.
That's a little less fresh.
It's a little less fresh. But yeah, I was just thinking, like, who are the hated characters in Stardew? It's those 3.
There was only one character I hated in Rune Factory. 4. That was
Oh, Doug.
yeah, it was Doug. Even after his
Redemption.
redemption, I still didn't like him.
That comes out next month.
The new one?
Yeah.
For the Switch 2?
I bought it for Switch, and I'm not change that.
So, a question that we all got to ask ourselves is: are we buying a Switch 2? Are you buying a Switch 2?
As of right now, no.
How about you? Are you buying a Switch too?
As of right now, I'm a broke bitch, so no.
Oh, same.
But the no comes with an asterisk. If they clarify that their games aren't going to be all $80, $90, I'll think about it.
I feel like the internet can bully them.
I don't
I
think
hope
so.
Because, like, their main
I think
market
it's the
is,
opposite.
like,
Nintendo bullies the
children.
internet. Let's be honest.
And I doubt, like, a parent is going to be like, oh, yeah, $90 for a game? Sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But I also remembered Nintendo historically has been known to ignore what people have said
Yes.
and have complained about. So while it'd be very wise for them to listen to the community and the community's outcry for this, they won't.
I hope
Not
people
until-
not buying a bunch of games hurts them enough.
That being said, there is precedent for this to get fixed. Like this, something has happened before where Nintendo has drastically reduced the price of not just a console but the games for it. The 3DS, when it first launched, was way too expensive,
That is true. They did do that.
and the games are really expensive. And they were so bad, they were losing a lot of sales on it. They cut the price down and the games prices, and all the people that originally bought it got the ambassador program thing where they gave them like 20 GBA downloadable titles and stuff, which they never put up for sale, by the way, on the Nintendo eShop. So the only way to ever get those games was to have been
An ambassador.
Someone who purchased the product when it was too expensive. And then the 3DS sold well because it was in a price point. Yeah. So we will see if Nintendo doesn't sell very well on these, which also Nintendo has a precedent. This is a very common thing that Nintendo's had happen, where they've done really well, then really bad,
Yeah.
and then really well, and then really bad.
They're also following the same habit. So they did really well with the Wii, and then they made the Wii U. And it was too similar in names, so it confused people, so no one supported it. And then they did the Switch, was drastically different, and people supported it. And now they're doing the Switch 2.
I will give them this, though. Switch 2 means it's a sequel.
Yes.
And if anyone goes, can I play PS3 games on my PS5?
No.
No.
We'll see.
So,
But granted, we also still have people that buy, Xbox games for their kids that have PlayStations.
yeah,
So.
people are stupid. That is a thing. So, there is a big problem I have noticed, though, when they did their announcement. Switch cartridges and Switch 2 cartridges are the exact same,
Yeah.
but Switch 2 ones are red.
Yeah.
So, a Switch 2 game will fit into a Switch. It looks the same. The 3DS and DS had a they both fit in the same cartridge slot, but the 3DS had a notch on their cartridges, so they wouldn't fit in a DS.
Yeah.
So that signified, hey, this ain't gonna work. Switch 2 doesn't have that.
Uh-oh.
So there's going to be a lot of moms buying Switch 2 games going, not really thinking about it. And then when they pop the game in the Switch, it's not gonna work.
Not gonna work.
So
We'll see.
yeah, we'll see. They have some stuff they really need to think about. Obviously, this is the first console since Iwata and some of the old big heads of Nintendo are gone. Iwata
Yes.
passed away, and a lot of other people have retired or stepped down in a way.
Yes.
So they have lost a lot of the people that really did some innovative thinking over at Nintendo.
Yes.
And have made Nintendo the company it is today, for better or for worse. But long story short, I don't know how this is going to play out for them.
Yes. Now, do you want my answer if I want to buy a Switch 2 or not?
No.
It's a no. I
It's,
already know.
it's a no. Yeah. I was the least likely of the group. They don't have games I play.
If, like, a few years down the line they get, like, exclusives I would want, I might, but...
Donkey Kong game looks badass. It's Mario Odyssey 2, essentially,
That's cool.
with completely destructible terrain. It looked really fun.
Huh.
I don't...
I think Donkey Kong and its universe is cool. I've only ever played Donkey Kong 1, 2, and 3. And I never beat a single one because they were too hard for me. So I didn't play any of the new ones. Mario. The last Mario game I played would have been Galaxy. Zelda. The last Zelda game I played was... What was it? Either Minish Cap or
So Game
Twilight
Boy,
Princess, depending on which one was out last.
Game Boy Advance or GameCube? I guess Twilight Princess technically had a Wii release as well, but
Metroid, the latest Metroid game I played, you're gonna love this,
Other M
was the best one to ever exist and
Yeah,
be
we know that
made.
one.
Was Other M. See, also the only Metroid game I beat.
It's wild.
That was a great game. Loved that. Thanks for that. Let's see, Star Fox. I've only played 2 Star Fox games.
There's
Star
not
Fox
very many.
64, and the one where you get to get out of your vehicle and do some, like,
Star
stuff.
Fox Adventures or whatever, yeah.
Yes. And I didn't like either one of those.
With the Lady Fox?
Yeah, Crystal.
When they're on Dinosaur Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact, Platinum Games made a Star Fox game called Star Fox Zero, and it's one of the worst in the series.
Yep. It's really bad.
Didn't play that, luckily.
I think that was the Wii U title.
What am I missing? Kirby.
Kirby, surprisingly, the games
Consistently good.
are consistently really good. Yeah.
Now, the last one I played. What's the one where you swallow the rainbow glowing fruit and shoot laser beam at the very end of the game? And you fight a Star Queen or whatever. I think it's on the Wii.
Would that be Return to Dreamland?
It might be. That's the one I played. That's the latest one I would have played. So
You're either
That's
thinking of Kirby 64 and the
not
Crystal
64,
Shards.
because that's one where you can combine 2 powers.
Yep. Which
Not
is
played
awesome.
that one. Not played that one. No, it's later. It's either Wii or Wii U. I don't know what the system was.
The Wii U had the Play-Doh looking one.
I don't think it was Play-Doh. I know it wasn't
It
Yarn.
was
Yarn.
It was a standard Kirby. It was a standard
Okay.
looking Kirby and a standard
It
game.
was like Kirby and the Cursed something.
That might have, yeah.
Was the one for Wii U that was Play-Doh-y.
Okay,
And then
that
there
wasn't
was
it.
Kirby's Epic Yarn, which was
Nope.
the one on the Wii.
That looked cute and fun, but nope.
It's really fun. But then there was also Kirby Return to Dreamland.
I think that might have been the one I played.
Yeah.
Am I missing a famous Nintendo series?
So you did Zelda, Metroid, Mario, Kirby, Donkey Kong,
If you want to count Mario Kart,
F-Zero,
F-Zero. They haven't made a new F-Zero since like the freaking I don't know
the
what.
GameCube. Yeah.
But no, I didn't play F-Zero.
Oh wait, they had F-Zero 99. I forgot.
Oh, sorry. Wow. If you want to count Mario Kart as separately, the last Mario Kart I played.
I would assume it would be 8.
No.
That's good.
8's good, and it's been out for like 50,000 years.
So I don't think I've ever played a Mario Kart game. Was there one on the GameCube? Double Dash.
Yes,
I didn't
Double
play
Dash.
Double Dash.
So you got Super Mario Kart,
I didn't play that old.
you got Mario Kart 64, You got Double Dash. You got Mario Kart Advance. You've got Mario Kart Wii. You've got Mario Kart DS. Mario
I think
Kart
I might have
7,
been Wii. Yes,
and
we
8.
had Wii because I remember having the Super Controller.
Okay. So Mario Kart
So
Wii.
Wii. Cool. Great.
That
That's
one's
solved.
That one's a fan favorite.
Yeah, because of Summoning Salt. Not only because of him, but anyways.
Yes, it's a fan favorite because of a YouTuber that came out way after.
Yes. Let's see. Party. I've never played a Mario Party game. I've played different versions of other games that are like Mario Party, but never played one of those. So now we've covered the spin-offs. Oh, Mario Tennis. I actually like Mario Tennis. I've played every version.
Like Mario
Except,
Tennis?
No.
Of the-
There's a new one on the Switch, isn't there?
Yeah.
I've not played that.
You're not missing too much.
No.
It's the same one as the Wii U game, but
Yeah.
with content.
In fact, I actually like Mario Tennis so much that on the Game Boy game, I 100%ed it and got my character to max all stats.
Damn. Very odd out of all the series of Mario spin-offs.
Would be the ones that I would have picked up and played the most. Yeah. Anyways, back to mainline series. Let's see, do I have any figures that help me?
I don't think I would do any.
Animal Crossing.
Animal Crossing? I've only ever played one singular Animal Crossing, and it was the one on the Switch. New Horizons or whatever.
Yeah.
I played...
New Leaf is the fan favorite.
Fire Emblem?
Yeah.
Nope. Correction. I have played Fire Emblem once. I thought it was absolute ass. Because it was an older one. Where if your characters died, they were actually dead. Where now you have an option for that.
Yeah.
Well, okay,
I was
so
like,
the-
okay, so this isn't for me.
So the solution to that is
Just get good.
just save before the fight
Yeah.
and don't suck.
Young Chris didn't do that. Do I have
I
anything else?
didn't really
on it?
like the most recent Fire Emblem, so I don't know if I would.
I
Like, it would have.
Or
What?
Three fates?
No.
Houses, whatever. Three fates was the
The one
was the
with
Mosi
the
game.
protagonist that looks like toothpaste.
I forgot that was a game.
Yeah, because it was completely forgettable.
Yeah.
But they would have to look really good for me to buy a Switch 2 for Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy it.
And now Rune Factory is putting stuff on PC, so
I forgot like
That's fair.
one of the biggest series, Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
Should we even touch on that one?
You played Emerald. I watched you play some Emerald.
The latest Pokemon game I played was X,
dude, I loved X.
and it was fine.
I loved it.
Emerald, I played a Kaizo run of, and again, it was fine. When I was a kid, I really liked Pokemon. I played Blue, and that was it. Because I didn't get the second gen, because I didn't care anymore. I would much rather play almost any other JRPG than Pokemon.
That's kind of my problem now is... So if I want to go play a JRPG, it's either going to be an Atlas title or Final Fantasy VI.
Yes. Like, at the end of the day, Pokemon, at its core, is a JRPG. Its stories, most of the time, I'm going to say all the time personally, are mediocre at best to literally just not there.
You haven't played Black and White, so I'll forgive
True.
you for that one, but Black
True.
and White actually had a good story.
Okay, so 1 out of the...
1 out of the 30.
yeah, okay. So you got that. Its combat is almost always jank.
Yeah.
And
Its
they
characters
don't
are, I
care
guess,
at
slightly
all anymore.
interesting.
I think the characters and the art design carry the game very hard.
That is what they depend on, rely on. Those combined 2 words. And the biggest breaking factor for a lot of them, you know,
Does it have Hex Maniac?
does it have Hex Maniac?
New one does.
New one does, yeah. No.
Buying it day one?
I was honestly gonna make a joke in the same kind of vein. Can you have sex in it? And Pokemon, you can't fuck the Pokemon, Batman.
They don't have sex technically in Power World.
Yet.
I didn't play that one.
Wait until you get the
Also.
sex update.
But no, like they're at the end of the day, the combat it's good. I think the Persona series, like Atlas in general, does the typings combat better than Pokemon does.
Yeah.
the story outside of Black, because I didn't play it, of the ones I played is literally really not there, and or if the ones I've watched are, I guess it's there, but it's not great. Most JRPGs have infinitely better stories,
Yes.
because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And they're on PC.
And they're on PC.
Yeah.
Another good selling factor. But, like, yeah. Pokemon's
And their
okay.
creators
And I'm going to
care.
continue to rag on it. Do I have a favorite Pokemon, though? Of course I do.
Yeah.
Everyone does.
What do those two mouths do?
Exactly what the two mouths do.
What's your favorite Pokemon?
Mawile.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, I also have a favorite pal.
Hold on.
Hold
Wayne,
on.
what's your favorite Pokemon?
I don't know. Probably from Sinnoh, though. Like,
Okay.
Did
Luxray or
you
Staraptor.
know that in terms of Mel and Pokemon breeding, Wayne prefers the Vaporeon?
Wayne prefers the Vaporeon.
Mean
Thanks for
dog.
reminding me I have to go buy Vapor Rub to more immersive experience.
Okay, so Wayne likes the Sinnoh stuff. I
Yeah.
don't know what that means, but okay. Luxray, he said. That was his
Yeah,
specific
or
name.
Staraptor. One of those.
Okay.
And Fernape's really cool.
Fun fact, I believe Staraptor is the one that's really, really, really good for speedruns, if I'm getting the right bird.
I don't know. They always have a Route 1 bird. That's when I got aware of Pokemon, so I think my brain latched onto all those as peak.
Your favorite Skarmory?
No.
Oh.
My favorite's Miltank.
Oh, Miltank. Gotta roll out. Yeah, no, my favorite pal, what is it, Wayne?
Lavander, number 69.
No! It's the Exploding Dodo.
Oh yeah, you changed it.
The only one I knew at the time was Sexy Lizard, so it had to be that one. And then I watched Shawnee do play the entirety of Pal World, and I was like, the Exploding Dodo might be the coolest thing ever.
Dude, that keeps getting new updates. It's nice. I need to play it some more,
But anyways, yeah, so like I have favorites in these, even
my
though I don't play
PC
much
kind
of
of
them.
just barely holds on for that.
What's your favorite pal?
I don't know. I haven't seen them all. And
I'd say. Well, my favorite one is the little chicken, the base one that you get at the very start.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because he's just a chicken. That's it.
The chicken.
or a sheep.
The sheep's
Yeah.
also kind of cool. But yeah, Smash Bros. If you want to count that as its own thing, as it is its own thing. I did, ironically enough, own every Smash Bros. Made.
Well, it's because it's a fighting game. 2,
Debatable.
it's a fighting game.
Debatable.
That's not debatable.
Debatable.
No.
It's a platform fighter, actually.
It's still a fighting game. What do you do in it? You fight each other? Oh, it's 2D? Oh, okay. It's a fighting game.
Oh, are you saying that 3Ds aren't fighters?
They're not fighters. They're 3D fighters. There's a difference.
It's a platforming fighter.
Things can't have two genres.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot.
It's
And wait,
a
that's it.
It's a platformer since platformer is the first word.
So it's a 3D.
It's a 3D.
Since it's the first word.
I just count them all as fighting games. I don't care.
Dude, my favorite 3D is Bubsy.
Yeah, Bubsy
What a game,
3D
what a
for the
game.
PS1.
Uh,
They're remastering it.
I'm looking at all my amiibos down there.
The light left your eyes. And by the way, I'm not kidding.
Dang.
They have to change
Buddy.
everything
Rough,
to make it
buddy.
viable.
No, I'd buy it day one. They better get a physical release on Switch. I'd buy it.
I will say, it is very hilarious. I'm ragging on Nintendo, and I'm sitting here like I've got a bunch of amiibos I can look at to figure out what games I've played and like. I've bought every Smash Bros.
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't gonna buy the next one because again, not buying the Switch too.
I think for the most part, a Nintendo console ends up being a Pokemon, Mario Kart,
Yeah,
Smash
it's
Brothers
an
machine.
exclusives machine.
Specifically those three. For the most of people. You'll have some people who will play Legend of Zelda 1,000 times on it, sure. But for the most part, most people are going to go back to it to go play some multiplayer Mario Kart
True.
or...
See, the Zelda
Smash
fans
Brothers.
could just, get a PC and play the best Zelda game ever made.
They can just play Breath of the Wild on their PC.
I wasn't talking about that.
And that's what
And
I'm
that's
saying.
not the best one either. That's
Well,
not
to
even
them
close
it
to
is.
the best one.
Well, okay, Tears of the Kingdom. I'm saying.
No, even worse. The best Zelda game doesn't have Zelda in it. It's Okami. Okami is the best Zelda game. And I won't be swayed on that.
While I think it's
You're
a
just
great
a furry.
game. Yeah, you're just.
I don't want to fuck the wolf, though.
He waits
want the
until
wolf
it
to-
turns. He wants the wolf to. Yeah, you want the wolf to fuck you?
In this world, it's two things.
Chris has 2 wolves.
But he's not having
And
it.
he's not- Oh man.
Dang.
Okami is a great game. Yes,
It's the best Zelda game.
it's not a Zelda game.
It is a Zelda game.
It doesn't have Zelda in the title.
It's a Zelda game. You
Uh,
go through different elemented dungeons, and you have various upgrades in each dungeon. Overarching story of saving somebody.
well, a million games fit that classification. Then
Yeah.
Yeah, Zelda games.
I don't think I've ever looked up what the wolf turns into, despite you guys saying,
a hot lady.
Yeah. Amaterasu turns into something?
Yeah.
When? I'm positive she does it. A goddess helps Amaterasu throughout the entire thing, but Amaterasu never transforms. At the very
Most
end of
of
the
these
game,
look
she
like
lays
fan
down
art.
and sleeps.
That might be.
bros off fan art and decided it was canon.
Yeah. Bro, it has been. I haven't played the game since the PS2.
I know who you're thinking of. You're thinking of the goddess that tells
Yeah, I am
Amaterasu to
thinking
go
of
out.
that, That is exactly what I'm thinking of. Damn, I need to go back and replay it.
Same, because number 2's coming out.
I bought that game for,
PS2
well, yeah, and then
and PC.
Keegan played the shit out of it on the PS2, and then she wanted to replay it, so I bought it for the PS3. She never touched it,
Bro.
and then I was like, okay, maybe it's just the platform she didn't want to play on. Bought it for her on the PC, hasn't touched it.
Damn.
What's with the Okami hate? Come on, Keegan,
Come on, play it.
replay it. By the way, on PC you could use the mouse.
Yes. What? Why are you looking at me weird?
Or-
On the Switch you can use the
Yeah, my
touchscreen.
Oh.
I searched Okami Goddess, and I don't know if that's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta remember, I was a child.
True.
This was the PS2. And I have not played the game since. I have seen Keegan play it,
It is a very good game.
so it was me remembering
Yeah.
and giving her pointers.
I'll be honest,
on
I
what to
also
do.
remembered or misremembered the design because I thought she was a lot taller and had like flowing hair that looked like was bigger than the dress she was wearing. So when Wayne showed that, I was like, "Oh, I got that way wrong."
Yeah. It's been a while. Capcom needs to start releasing some games like that again, though.
Yes.
Instead
I
of
still want to check out their newest one, or not their newest, but the one that looks really funky. I forget the name. It's
for what?
like it's like a tower defense thing with the village.
I have no idea.
Is it Capcom?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the end of the day, the point I'm making is Nintendo makes some really good games. But if you're willing to look, every one of those games has a better version out there.
Konetsugami, Path of the Goddess, I
Oh.
think.
Mm. Yeah, I saw that as well.
Um,
I will say it's hard to beat Mario, though.
I
Mario
was-
is still probably one of the best platformers.
I was gonna say, you're wrong on the point of Mario platform. Like Mario is still hands down.
Probably 3D platforming, I will say Mario's the best. It's hard to beat 3D Mario. 2D, a lot of people have done some really good 2D platformers.
True. I still don't think they compete with Mario.
It's tough.
It is
Chris's
tough to compete
video
with
topic.
Mario, yeah.
Huh?
Chris's video topic beats it.
That one rage.
Oh,
platformer.
yes. Yeah. I don't remember. Uncraft World.
I forgot his name,
remember.
too.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Like, I will say, for flat control, even though it is a bit harder, Super Meat Boy is a very good platformer.
Does not compete with Mario, unfortunately. It's a great game, don't get me wrong.
I think it competes.
It does not compete
I
with
think it
Mario.
competes. With 2D.
There's a reason why there's only a Super Meat Boy.
No, there's two. They made a second one. It was bad. It was
A
mixed.
Super Meat Boy and 50 million Mario games.
Okay. If you're willing to stay in the hard versions, Celeste.
Celeste is an amazing game. Does not compete with Mario.
I didn't play it.
It is really good. I would say it is one of my favorite platformers. Doesn't compete with
I
Mario.
was like, I can't argue that because at the end of the day,
There's a reason
lot of these
why.
platformers are really cool and all, but there's a reason why I go back and watch a lot of the Mario ROM hack players play like different difficult Mario games. Watching like the swag stuff they can pull off and like
Super Mario
in,
Maker.
in not even Maker. Like if you watch them play ROM hacks for Super Mario World,
Yeah.
they do some wild stuff.
The fact that Nintendo can craft a game like that and can have so much tech
Yes.
in it.
Like, I will say, I think the best 2D platformer to ever exist, and probably will ever exist, is Super Mario World.
I agree.
Because there's always going to be a community for this game to make ROM hacks that of varying difficulties. I watched Graham Huber the other day, it was an older video, play a ROM hack that was for Super Mario World that was a Metroidvania. It was a Vania game. And it's like, that's honestly cool. You start out with no powers. You can jump and you can just do basic Mario stuff. Jump and run. That's it. You get his powers to pick up stuff, to swim, to spin jump.
Yeah.
All that stuff as you go through. Very cool to see.
And even if you just look at the base game,
Base game's timeless.
yeah, you can give that to a kid nowadays and they will have a great time.
Yeah, and the difficulty's tuned for that.
Mhm.
And if you want it harder, you're going to beat, the game, of course, and you're going to be like, I need more challenge from this style. ROM hacks, baby.
ROM
Join
hack.
the
You
community.
don't even have to ROM hack. You can just set challenges for yourself.
Yeah, you can set challenges for yourself.
Like beating the game as only small Mario.
Yeah.
Or
Or
I've seen a
you
lot
could
of
step
people-
up to Super Mario Maker, too.
True.
Because that one's still online. What they did take one down, sadly.
Yeah, yep. One is gone. The better one, in my opinion.
The community did 100% the game, by the way.
That's fair.
Before they took the servers down, every level that was ever uploaded and created for Super Mario Maker 1 was beat.
I want to say Mario Maker 2 had a lot of cool stuff in it, but it was really brought down by the fact that it didn't have a Wii U gamepad.
Yeah.
The Wii U gamepad made Mario Maker what it was.
Yeah.
It was so simple and fluid to just build levels with the little stylus on the screen. And even if you play Mario Maker 2 in handheld mode, that touchscreen sucks.
Mm-hmm.
You can't.
The Mario community at the end of the day. Really good. That's probably the only franchise I'll say that they have that
That's
they're
really
the top of.
Yeah, that's the only one I will fight you on. Everything else, yes. Okami, I would say, is a much better Zelda game than 99% of the Zelda games.
Except for...
Wind Waker.
Wind Waker?
Wind Waker is a masterpiece. Besides Wind Waker, I think
Wind
Okami
Waker's
beats
pretty good.
all the other ones. Okami, hands down. Twilight Princess, sure, it's okay. Skyward Sword, kind of sucks. Art style's great. Has one of my favorite Zelda designs. Gameplay, though, The
Breath of
64
the
games.
Wild is garbage. I'm sorry. It's
Breath
not
of
even-
the Wild.
I will say this. Breath of the Wild is a great game that I personally don't consider a Zelda game to begin with. It changed the entire Zelda formula entirely outside of names alone.
Art style, Breath of the Wild is great. Story, Breath of the Wild is actually really good. Gameplay, Breath of the
Little
Wild
dicey.
is... It depends on what you want to... It's a give or take. The open world part, all Zelda games
Are already open.
They're already
That's
open
why.
world, so that part doesn't bother me.
But they take away your weapons.
They take your weapons break. The dungeons suck, which is about 50% of a Zelda game. Is the dungeons.
That's why I don't consider it a Zelda game at the end of the day.
And the little mini dungeons all over the map are cool little puzzles, sure. I don't want to do 200 little mini puzzles that end up feeling the same.
Yes. That's why I don't consider this a Zelda game. Fine game.
It is a
Not
fine game.
Zelda.
I agree. I think it is a
I
fine
enjoyed
game.
the game.
I also enjoyed the game.
Certain people enjoy it. I just don't consider it a Zelda to be.
I also enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom.
I enjoyed Tears of the Kingdom a lot less. I was very vocal about how disappointed I was in Tears of the Kingdom. Because it felt like just more Breath of the Wild, but they were charging me full price.
Yeah.
And I think Tears of the Kingdom is a better game than Breath of the Wild? Yes. But I would also say that Cyberpunk 2077 is a better game than Cyberpunk 2077 was at launch.
Yeah.
So,
but trying to think what else.
right?
I don't even think
That's a good one too.
I don't even think Metroid's the
We need
best.
to play that again.
The
Yes,
Vania, like
or paleontology.
if you just take the two namesakes of Metroidvania, Metroid isn't the better of the two. Castlevania beats it.
I so agree with that. I'm
sorry.
so not biased though.
I can't play either one, so I have no bias. Samus. I was about to say Samus is the better lead character, but
Nope.
but nope. I think Richter's still better.
Richter's so much cooler. Alucard is so much cooler. So much cooler. All
I
of
like
them are
Maria
just-
too, so
Maria Renard, yep. Way cooler. Hell, even
I'm sorry.
Simon.
I'm sorry.
Simon.
Simon.
Damn, you.
Simon.
He gotcha.
He got me.
Simon is also cool.
Simon.
That's my
He's a
favorite
Pokemon
shit.
now.
You're just saying Paimon with an S. Why would you do that to him?
Oh no, he's just a little fairy floating around being annoying. And also,
If you want to go
The villain.
old school, not Metroid, old school Castlevania style though, I think old school Castlevania loses to the far superior Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
ugh, what kind of comparison is that? I can at least have a fun time playing Castlevania.
You can't have a fun time playing Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
No. The music and the art are good, but the game itself is just
Ball
ass.
torture. But
Yeah.
does Simon,
Simon?
does he ever get turned into a baby or a nurse? No, you can't say he does.
Now, I haven't seen the entirety of the show, but there was that Nintendo Power show that had Simon in it, and he was the butt of the joke all the time. I'm sure he turned into a baby somewhere, and I'm sure he was turned into a nurse somewhere.
That would be wild.
Because it also had a really gross-looking Mega Man in it, and I can't remember the name of that show, but it was really bad.
I love how the against you I used was quite literally a thing that caused anger in the game. You break open a treasure chest in the wrong order, so a freaking like tinkle ass looking like clown pops out, shoots a freaking magic thing in your path. That's supposed to be easy to dodge, but almost always hits you anyways, and then it hinders your gameplay and kills you.
That's why Zelda's always better than Okami, because Tingle. Okami
God,
doesn't
I
have
forgot
Tingle.
Tingle.
Yeah, see?
Dang. Only a few Zeldas have it though.
The better ones.
Dang.
Wind
Sorry,
Waker.
Okami.
Wind Waker.
You lost because of a guy in a weird guy in a goddamn
Majora's
spandex.
Mask. Ocarina of Time. Did Ocarina of Time have Tingle?
Tingle was not in it. I think his first
So it was
introduction
Majora's
was Majora's.
Okay, so so the two really good ones then, right? Majora's Mask and Wind Waker. Bam.
Wasn't he also in Twilight Princess?
I don't know. Twilight Princess seems too serious for that.
Okay. I don't remember Twilight Princess very well.
I didn't like it because of so Twilight Princess to me is the same amount of fun as Sonic Unleashed for the same exact reasons.
You don't like turning into a dog?
Yeah. I don't want to turn into a lair hog. I think the split gameplay sucked.
Oh. But at least in Twilight Princess, when you were a wolf, you had Midnight riding around on your back.
So many. Why are so many people gooning to that?
Short
Why
stacks.
not? Wayne, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but she had no stacks. That's a fan creation. The fans were like, "This is hot, but it could be hotter. Strap balloons to it, lads." Now, when she turned into a full-grown whatever,
Okay,
then she did
so
have stacks.
so regular Midna, yeah. I agree with.
No, regular Midna worse.
No. But yeah, no.
Is Wayne looking for the Midna figure?
I know you have it. It's down
Right
there.
there.
Yeah.
In the amiibos.
But yeah, that all the other ones, nah. They got nothing on Tingle. What were we talking about?
Okami. And what were we talking about? We were naming off what things were better than the Nintendo games, and I brought up Metroid.
Castlevania.
Literally only sticking to the name of Metroidvania, because let's be honest here, newer Metroidvanias are pretty darn good.
Yep.
And I don't want to take away from the old stuff. I will say Symphony of the Night's probably one of the best Metroidvanias.
Symphony of the Night's one of the best video games.
But a lot of the new age Metroidvanias are really good, and I would say compete with that. And I'm sorry to Metroid, but I would have to say Metroid's probably the weakest.
So, Super Metroid and Symphony of the Night are stellar Metroidvanias. They're the reason for Metroidvania
Yes.
as a genre. A lot of newer Metroidvanias are good, but I think a lot of Metroidvanias lean too far into the roguelike and roguelite
They do
genre,
do that, yes.
and that really does a disservice to the Metroidvania part of the game.
Because like if you
I don't like that part.
If you want to take a good Metroidvania, it would be Dead Cells, but that leans very, very heavily into the roguelikes.
I don't even call it a Metroidvania. It's just a roguelite. And I would say I personally was really disappointed in that game because I was promised a Metroidvania and I got a roguelite.
You got a roguelite. Oh, I'm sorry.
Song.
Yeah. Probably the best Metroidvania to exist is Hollow Knight.
That one, I would say, goes up there with the greats, yes. I don't think it beats Symphony of the
I
Night.
think it does.
You'd
I
have to play
personally
Symphony
do.
of the Night to have an opinion on that.
You'd have to play Symphony of the Night to have an opinion. Dang. Hollow Knight's great, though. That is
But
what
I
I
will
played
say
and
Hollow
beat.
Knight beats Super Metroid.
That is one of the only Metroidvanias I played and beat was Hollow Knight. Very good game.
Hollow
Will
Knight
not
is good.
100% it because I was attempting when I first played it to 100% it, 112% it, and I got to the Trial of the Fool, so the last trial in the base game, and I got stomped. Oh my god, the mosquitoes when they narrow the walls on you, I could not get past it. I was garbage. So it was at that point that I was like, "Yep, I'm not 100%ing this game." Even though I had already collected all the grubs and whatnot, so I was doing fairly well.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I don't know. Did I do the White Palace? I might have. I'll have to look. I might have done the White Palace because I knew the cheese to it. Just equip the stupid bee thing, the one that gives you honey masks.
Yeah.
Because when you take damage, you just stand there and let it heal. And it gives you infinite life in the palace. But I don't remember if I beat it. I know I did not beat the secret boss. The secret final boss, correction. I did not beat that. And I didn't have the DLC at the time. Or I played it before the DLC or whatever. So I didn't do the boss rush mode that introduced you to hell.
But yes, Hollow Knight is really good.
Yeah, it's really good. I should go back and 100% it.
Still not Symphony of the Night good, but it's really good.
Nah.
There hasn't been a game in the Metroidvanias genre, in my opinion, that has topped Symphony of the Night.
There's a few Touhou fan-made games that are also really good Metroidvanias.
Yes.
But that's because the Touhou fandom is crazy. And
I have played a lot of Metroidvania games. And there are a lot of them that are really good.
Yeah, but you got a bias.
I have a bias towards the genre being good. And I think some roguelite elements are okay to an extent, but that defeats most of the purpose of a Metroidvania.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you have a bias towards Symphony of the Night.
A little bit. And it's not even my favorite Castlevania game.
Dang.
The one on the Game Boy Advance is my favorite, but I know it's not as good as Symphony of the Night, even though I would prefer to play that one.
Makes sense. I will say, I have played and beaten a Castlevania game. I don't count it in the Metroidvania series because it's not...
Is it Curse of the Moon?
I think so. Rondo of Blood.
Rondo of Blood. Oh, Rondo of Blood. Okay. Yeah, that's not a...
That's just a platformer.
Yeah. That's a classic Castlevania.
Yeah, it's a classic Castlevania.
Rondo of Blood's really good, though.
Very good. It's it's the only Castlevania I've beaten, so I have to say it's my favorite. But I like it. I think it's the best.
I have played and beaten every single Castlevania game.
Heck yeah. Mm-hmm. So that means when they release a new Castlevania for the Switch 2, and exclusively the Switch 2, you sadly have to buy a Switch 2.
Yes. There are only a few series that will get me to straight up go out and buy a console.
You know that's why I bought a Switch, not for Castlevania, for Bayonetta.
That's fair. I like for the PS4. I got a PS4 so I could play Monster Hunter World.
That makes sense.
Because it wasn't on PC.
Sorry.
It was really good though at the time. I thought it was amazing.
And then Rise happened. Which I already owned a Switch, but I would have bought a Switch specifically for Rise. Granted, years later they both came out on PC. Yes. But
at the time it was a Switch exclusive, and it was a PS4 exclusive, World and Rise respectively.
Yeah.
So Monster Hunter is a game I will buy a system for. Castlevania is a game I would do the same for. Metroid is very close.
Very close.
But not quite.
Do you have a console selling series? Rune Factory?
Probably.
Do I have a new series? Because I will say, if they release a Bayonetta 4 on the Switch 2, I wouldn't buy it.
You haven't bought Bayonetta 3, so...
I do own Bayonetta 3.
You never played it, though, huh?
I have never played it.
Okay.
It's still sitting in its wrap in my closet alongside my Switch. I couldn't.
Why couldn't you?
My Switch is drifting. You can't play a game like that with drift. And I refuse to buy Joy-Cons for the stupid machine.
Get them off of, AliExpress or something. You can buy, $10 Joy-Cons.
Not happening. Bayonetta 3 will sit forever unplayed.
Or just plug in a controller.
Yeah. I bought it, never played it, literally because of drift. And I was like, this is dumb.
What?
I didn't buy it, actually. I was gifted it.
Okay. That's a little different.
So I haven't played it because of drift in my stuff. If it ever came to PC, though,
well,
it won't. But if it did, though...
I'm not saying you can.
Would.
Huh?
I didn't think Rune Factory would come to PC, and then it did.
I mean, we said that Bayonetta wouldn't, and then they did put Bayonetta 1 on Steam. I own it.
Yeah, so do I. Just the first one, though.
Yeah, just the first one.
And that was... They put that out a while ago.
Yeah.
A long time.
That was the hope that they gave us all, that maybe the series would come to PC. It won't, but... We just got Silksong announcement, so we can honk our noses like clowns.
And Bloodborne sequel.
That's true.
I saw a meme.
That actually looks really fun, though.
I saw a meme. Oh, I wish Bloodborne got a sequel that wasn't a Sony exclusive.
Monkey Paw Girl.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
it's a Nintendo exclusive, and it's...
You know what? A Nintendo exclusive is a little bit better, though, because Nintendo's going to get emulated way faster.
True. Won't play it, though, sorry. No interest.
And that's what I was talking about with Bayonetta. I mean, Bayonetta 2 and 3 are on PC.
Yeah. Nah. Maybe if it comes to Steam. I'm a good boy.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Let's see.
It's stupid, but I would if.
So Casey doesn't lose his mind. We should probably wrap up soon. But anyways, it's stupid, but...
If Fantasy Life was a Switch 2 exclusive, it might...
It would have got you?
Probably, yeah. But it's on Steam and Switch, so... But I'm gonna get on...
If Hoonie Pop 3 is a Switch exclusive, I'll get it. I've never played any Hoonie Pops.
Keegan loves that series.
Dang. Genuinely, though,
I'm too garbage at it.
There's not really any,
Honey
like...
Pop?
Yeah.
It's just Bejeweled with Gooning.
Quick Bejeweled.
I will agree with Wayne. I'm very bad at those, like,
Puzzle games?
2D puzzle games like that. Like,
It's
Like
Bejeweled,
if it,
Match
if
3
it was
is-
just
yeah, Match 3,
Bejeweled,
yeah, I'm aware it's Match 3. I'm bad at that.
if it was just Bejeweled, I would be fine. But it's like quick Bejeweled.
It's Bejeweled, but you have to focus on the gems while there's titties on screen.
Yeah. I had to use a guide to beat Pokemon whatever. Pokemon Tetris. Pokemon Puzzle League.
Oh, Pokemon Puzzle League.
I had to
You
use
use
a
a
guide.
guide?
Yes! I
The
cannot...
whole point of puzzle games is to make
I
you
can't
think.
do those.
If you just open
No.
up a guide for a puzzle game, you might as well just not do it.
Hey, we just had a conversation about how Navi was made for him.
Yes. I can't do Tetris-like games.
So imagine
I'm awful.
they release a jigsaw puzzle.
I
All
can
the
do
pieces
jigsaw. I
are
can do
in
jigsaw
separate-
puzzles.
They're in separate little compartments,
I can
and it
do
gives
those.
you a.
I can do those because I pieced that together myself. If you give me a board full of different shapes and say start matching, bitch, I'm fucking out.
Hey, you have to just look at the things that look the same.
And then my eyes glaze over and they all look the same.
We should do an escape room.
Oh my god, you guys
Chris is
are
trapped.
doomed. You guys are doomed. You're forever locked in a room with me.
If
I'll let y'all sit there and figure it out while I goon in the corner.
that's content.
It's content, baby. But yeah, no, I am bad with those visual puzzle games like that where the board's already cluttered. No, Tetris moves too fast for me. I can do it fine when it's starting, when like it's like baby mode and it takes a year for the blocks to hit the ground. I can do that. But once it starts speeding up, even like you get to level 2 where it's like, oh no, they're moving at the speed of a snail. I'm out. They actually like you could see physical movement happening. Nope.
That hurts.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine or whatever. Nope.
That's
I
Puyo.
like Dr.
Yeah,
Mario.
Puyo Tetris. I can't do.
Puyo Pop.
Can't do that. And Bejeweled, forget it. The board is already flooded.
Bejeweled, you can take however long you need.
Yeah,
And it even flashes hints on screen if you're a brainlet.
and I will let you know once I get to the point where at least half of the things have been like I've found most of the easy stuff and whatnot. I literally have to sit there and wait for the flashing to start happening, and the flashing is always bad because it leads you into death.
Oh,
That
my
is how
goodness.
bad at these games I am. Like, it's a dang good thing I didn't get into Candy Crush, because I would have had to spend so much money to beat that game.
Insane.
Insane. So, yeah. There's a reason I like flashy, brainless action games.
You were built for being a hammer main.
Yes. I was built to swing the club.
Understandable.
And with that, it's been almost, 2 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, an hour and 54 minutes. I think that's time to call it.
Sounds good.
Because that's a 2-hour episode.
Well,
we know it ain't gonna be edited.
True.
Just going up.
It's just going up.
Just going up. So yeah. Anyways, that's been another episode of H-Bomb Podcast, where we talk about things and stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly Nintendo and picking on them, even though we seem to like them secretly. We're like Sundare.
Yeah, we're
I like their
Sundares.
games, but
yeah, I like their games. I don't like their business practices.
Their games are okay.